That Tempe Fire tells us that they started receiving calls around 6 o'clock this morning for this train derailment. And you might be wondering, why is this fire still going? Well, one of the reasons they say is because there are several train cars that have lumber in them, but then there are some that have unidentifiable or unknown hazardous materials right now. So they're waiting to identify those materials to figure out how they go about fighting this fire. I want to go ahead and bring in Brandon here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just tell us, where does the operation stand at this moment?
Right now, we're still working on a slow and methodical approach. We do know that we do not have any injuries of first responders or bystanders in the area. We do have the train conductor safe, and that train conductor is helping our hazardous materials technicians. At this point, due to the difficulties of fighting a hazardous materials fire on a train bridge over a body of water, we are going, again, slow and methodical to make sure that none of our first responders are hurt.
You said about 90 firefighters helping in this fight so far. Once you are able to identify what's in some of those other tanker cars, what type of approach will you take? Will there be aerial approach, boat approach to getting the fire completely out?
Sure. So right now, since the hazardous materials in the tankers is unknown, we're taking a worst case approach as far as setback distances, and we're keeping everybody evacuated as far as possible given the worst type of material. Once we are able to determine, hopefully, that the material is less hazardous and the fire is more under control, we will move in a little bit closer. As far as any sort of aerial assistance, what does make it difficult is that we are along Tempe Beach Park and Salt River, which is directly in the flight path for Sky Harbor Airport. So we are somewhat limited as far as getting aerial vehicles in the air. However, we do have an unmanned aerial vehicle that will be in the area to assist us with locating hotspots, and we have notified the FAA and Sky Harbor Tower.
A lot of people were mentioning that I spoke to over there about the beautiful birds, the ecosystem, the water here. Has anything been damaged to the water or anything like that you can tell at this point?
We don't have any idea yet as far as what has gone into the water. Luckily, this is a dammed lake. We do have man-made dams at either end of the Tempe Town Lake, which is keeping any of the debris that might go in the water from going into the remainder of the Salt River area. Luckily, most of the bridge collapse and the train cars, which did collapse as well, those are over land, including over Rio Salado Parkway, which is closed at this time. But we are hoping that most of the debris from the hazardous materials is actually not going in the water. But if it does, it will be isolated to Tempe Town Lake.
Thank you so much, Brandon. I want to go ahead and bring in Greg here with Tempe Police to give us an idea. Greg, how are you guys helping with this overall evacuation and keeping this area safe for people?
So at this point, we're following the lead of Tempe Fire, and basically anywhere where they need to have evacuations done, traffic control, we're providing support in that area. So we have officers all over the area near Tempe Beach Park that are preventing people from accessing the area where the fire is occurring. And so some of the areas I just want to go over that we're asking people to completely stay out of for their safety, but also to help our crews battle this fire, and that is all of the beach park. We don't want anybody in the beach park at this time. There's a lot of smoke going on in the area. Again, as the fire has talked about, we don't really know what's in those tankers, so we want to keep people away from that area. First Street, anywhere on First Street between Rio and Ash Avenue, we want to keep people out of that area. We want to thank DPS for their swift response to help us. They got the Loop 202 completely shut down between the Loop 101 and the 143 in both directions. We do appreciate them helping us get traffic and pedestrians off of that area as well. The Mill Avenue Bridge, and obviously at this time the lake is closed for any recreational use.
Anything else? We know this is a very active community, people biking, walking, jogging. What else would you want people to know at this moment? Because this is kind of an ongoing situation where you're kind of waiting to see how they can really fight and tackle this thing.
Yeah, today is just one of those days where we're going to ask people that for the remainder of the afternoon, until we can get some, Union Pacific out here, engineers to talk about the bridge and things like that. We just want to keep people very safe and out of this area. So, hopefully those people that got up early enough, they got their workout in. If not, today it's hot, might be a good day to skip your workout and get back at it tomorrow. We just want to keep people safe, and that's the big message here for us. And how swift the fire department was in their response is probably the biggest reasons why they are able to confine this to the specific area that it's at now.
Thank you so much, Greg.
Thank you.
And guys, another part with keeping people safe, Brandon with Tempe Fire says that they will actually be rotating their firefighters because this humidity, this heat with all of their gear can create extremely dangerous conditions for them while they are out here. But currently they are working with the conductor, Union Pacific, to go ahead and try and identify what's in the rest of those tankers so they can figure out how to get the fire completely out. And I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.